Peace, y'all. It's your boy here, Cold World. I'm over here kicking with my main man, Jay Wicks. What's good, sir?
What's good, Brody?
Can't call it. Just welcome everybody to another episode of Brodies Sports Talk. We riding the wave here, man. It's Ocean's 11, baby. It's the 11th episode of the second season. It's good to see everybody out there. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, if you're not following us, you need to be following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and click on the bottom right-hand corner and like and subscribe. But to kick things off here, Wiggs, we got a couple of things to discuss here. You know, the season is a couple of weeks away, bro. Like I think the kickoff is like September 7th, something like that. So it's we're only a couple of weeks away. So like, the parlay locks are gonna get ready to make their second season debut. But to kind of get the Brodies out there, get the juices flowing out there. Pause. But we gotta get the parlay juices flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
we gotta get people some pre. we gotta give them just like some pre stats, what I'm saying, for people to kind of like start getting their their parlay legs ready here, man. So we're gonna do a little over, a little under here. These are bold predictions for the NFL season coming up here. So we're going to talk about some players in their positions and what we think they're going to do for this year. You guys can see if you can do some parlay betting on that. Now, as usual, we got to always disclose that these are our bets. We don't have a sponsor yet. We're waiting on FanDuel and MGM and all them, giving y'all some shout outs. Cut the check. We would be more than happy to be like Pat McAfee and all them. But we got a couple of players that we're going to give you some parlay pre-locks on, if you will. So go ahead and kick it off, Wiggs. Let's go ahead and start with the wide receivers.
All right, so these are going to be, like you said, Code, just some picks that we think this is going to be for the whole season. At this time of year, I wouldn't bet on the preseason, but this is the perfect time of year to get, a per game average for a player, or a touchdown average for a player. So for the receivers, let's start with Justin Jefferson. Okay. 1,250 yards. Code. Over or under Justin Jefferson?
So I just saw a news update here on NFL Network. So
he didn't have to change his answer.
hey, I'm changing the answer, Wig, because we're doing it live. Okay. Jordy Addison I think his first name is Jordy Addison, right?
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison. Thank you. So he's going to be suspended for the first 3 games. Okay. Yeah.
Hold up, what's this breaking news? What happened?
Yeah. I think it's either like a performance enhancing issue or gambling issue. It's something like off the field issue.
I think gambling will be worse, so maybe it's the PEDs. Okay.
Yeah, right, something like that.
We'll fact check it in the comment section. We'll make sure we let y'all know.
Yeah, so he's going to be gone for the first 3 games. So I know I picked the under initially on this, but I think I'm going to go with the over.
Okay, we got a adjustment during the podcast. Cool. I like that, Co. Because like I said, I think that breaks down to, 1,000 yards is less than 60. So you add in another 200. This is probably 70 yards a game for Justin Jefferson. I think he'll definitely get that done easy. Yeah. And I think he can miss a couple games and still break this. So
very doable.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Brock Bowers, 1,025 yards. Over or under?
I'm going over.
Okay. Hey,
they have nobody to throw to.
He's probably going to be the number 1 receiver, and that's a good number 1 receiver for Geno Smith to go to. We know the running game is going to look a little bit better with Ashton Genty, so I think Brock Bowers would definitely go over 1,000 yards. And lastly, let's go with CeeDee Lamb, 1,175 yards. What do you think, over or under?
Give me the over.
Okay. Hey, I mean, CeeDee has George Pickens on the other side, so
it's going to free up some more space for him. Yeah,
I think he's a top 3 receiver in the league every year, so he should definitely get 1,100 yards easy. I'm going with the over on this one too. I like it.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the running backs. Let's start with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley led the league in yards last year, but as far as touchdowns, do you think Saquon Barkley over or under 10.5 touchdowns.
I'm going to take the over. They're a primary run team. Outside of the tush push, he's going to get the goal line touches, and he'll also have, a few breakout runs for like 20, 30, or 50 yards, something like that. So give me the over.
Okay. All right, let's go with Lamar Jackson. I saw this number. I was like, nah, I think we gotta go with this one. Lamar Jackson over or under 3.5 rushing touchdowns.
I mean, come on now.
That's almost too easy, right?
Who put that on the list?
Yeah, like
why is that even a choice?
And we're not going to talk about this player over under, but I got to bring it up. Jaden Daniels 5.5.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy money right there.
I like that too. Okay, and then lastly, we got Derrick Henry coming in at 1,325 yards. Over or under Derrick Henry?
I got to take the over because Derrick Henry is he put up 1,900 the year before. So I mean, over 1,300 yards sounds like a downgrade, but that sounds pretty steady Eddie for him. So yeah, give me the over.
Baltimore, run that ball if you want to win. What do we tell you? Give them the ball 19 to 24 times a game. Let him run that pill, man. Lamar's going to do what he does, so hey.
Yeah, so.
Okay. All right, lastly, let's get to the passers, the quarterbacks of the league. We know how special, if the team is good, the quarterback plays good. And we're going to start it off with our quarterback, number 5, Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Over or under 3,425 yards.
Jaden Daniels throws for over 4,000 this year. Give me the over.
Oh, but he's not just going over. He's going over 4,000. I love it, folks. All right. Number 2, let's go with Joe Burrow. Over 4,225 yards. Over under Joe Burrow.
When you got $100 million in 2 wide receivers, you better throw for over 4,000 yards.
Give me the over. Yourself.
Give me the over.
150 between 3 players.
Yeah, that's insane.
Give me the over, right?
I'm taking it over as an overpaid.
The only thing I'm going to say, and again, this goes for every player, that injury. The Commanders were on his ass in that preseason game, man.
Yeah.
And you don't like to see that in a preseason game. So when the season starts, it could be bad for him. He already got hit by the rookie in practice. He got beat up by the Commanders.
Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking about. I mean, well, you got to also remember this. Back in the day, preseason games were 4. And the third game was where the starters normally play like the first half just to get shake the rust off. But now that it's been reduced to 3, game 2 is now that game where you start your players and trying to put some some work in. But unfortunately nowadays, because of injuries and all that good stuff and the extended season, you see a new trend of teams not playing their starters the entire preseason. And those first 3 weeks in the regular season are kind of like the preseason games. Hence why you see some teams not really performing that well versus bad teams that perform well like the first 3 weeks, and then everybody warms up and y'all really some trash. Y'all went 2-1, but y'all finished 14 and 13. So yeah, but we got any more over under? We got some more time for the segment.
Yeah, one more passer. We got Patrick Mahomes over under 4,000 yards.
I'm gonna go under. That's the first under. They didn't upgrade at wide receiver.
Rashee Rice is coming back, or is he going to be suspended? Is he coming back? What's the word?
That's up in limbo. He'll probably maybe miss a game or 2, but their best receiver and Travis Kelce is a year older. So he blames his decline in production on shooting films and all this other stuff and having a girlfriend. No, brother, it's all good.
Don't say nothing about the Swifties, dog.
It's not the Swifties' fault.
Don't get the Swifties.
No, you're just getting a little older, brother. That's all it is. There's nothing wrong. You're already in the Hall of Fame. So, Who else we got?
Let's go with Lamar Jackson over or under 28.5 touchdowns passing.
Give me the over.
Hey.
I'm thinking 30.
He had 40. I think he had 40 last year. And that was easy.
I don't know. I think it was 40 total, maybe. I don't think he threw for 40. I knew he threw for over 4,000. But yeah.
I know he had 4,000, 40, and 5. Crazy number. MVP number.
Definitely give me the over on that.
All right, and then Josh Allen over 3,775 yards. Over under.
I might have to. That's a good one. I might have to go under on this one. Because they just extended the contract of James Cook. Maybe they're going to run the ball a little bit more since they're paying him more. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah. So let us know what you think there, Brodies. Click on the bottom right-hand corner on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and like and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Now, moving on here, in light of the last check-in with the Commanders news, we're a DC, sports team. The Commanders is our home team as usual. And if you're living under a rock, you would know that Brian Robinson Jr. potentially is going to be released and or maybe traded to another team. And this is going to kind of like mark the end of an era, Ron Rivera's era. Okay. And we're going to talk about the impact on his draft classes while he was here the past, 4 years, I believe. Now, you can't really evaluate a draft class after its first year. You got to give it at least 2 to 3 years to kind of see, at least 3 years rather, to kind of give it some time to see if it works out. Because I mean, if you throw the baby the water out with the baby out with the bathwater. Josh Allen wouldn't have made it to year 2. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give your draft class some time. And we've given them some time. And as you can see, Adam Peters has a lot of work to do with cleaning up the roster. But I want to make some points here, Brodies, just so you guys can understand like how tough it is, 1, to make the right pick for your draft, 2, the right player for your organization, and 3, are they going to work? Is it going to work out? So in 2020, the first pick overall for us, number 2 overall, was Chase Young. Now, he was looked at as a generational talent, and all this good stuff. He's gone. In 2021, we took a flyer out on Jamin Davis. He was drafted a little earlier than what people thought, but drafted him. He's gone. Then we got Jahan Dotson in 2022. We traded back and botched that pick because he's gone as well. And then finally in 2023, we drafted the stick man, Emmanuel Forbes. He's no longer here. So not only did he botch that, when we traded back for Dotson, we got the picks. You said what?
So that's an ugly record right there.
That's an ugly record right there, bro. And then also to add insult to injury, the year we drafted Jahan Dotson, we traded back, and those picks we acquired Sam Howell, who's also gone, and also Brian Robinson Jr., who's about to leave as well. So this is what happens with mediocre teams and subpar teams. They don't draft well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now, Wiggs, in these years, in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, can you tell the Brodies some of the draft picks in those years that we missed that were available?
Yeah, because that's all I'm looking at the whole time you're saying this is this list of people that we could have had. So the end of a Rivera, when we got Chase Young, that was the number 2 pick, which means we basically, after Joe Burrow, of course we would have drafted Joe Burrow if he was there, number 2. He was a great player, great quarterback. But the Bengals get him, they have him. They're missing the playoffs in the last 2 seasons, and we do have JD5. So I love that for us. We go through the Ron Rivera era to get JD5, but this is what we could have had, and we probably don't get Jaden Daniels. So
yeah, this is also something you got to keep in perspective.
Yeah, so we could have in 2020 got Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Javon Kinlaw, who was number 14. We have him on the team now. That was our big signing. Right. So I see that Adam Peters is trying to get people that he wants on the team, not the people from the Ron Rivera. He's very if you're from this last era, get the hell off the team. Adam Peters.
Pretty much. He's cleaning the house.
He really is I'm not fucking with y'all. And Noah Igbenogany, interestingly enough, was the number 30 pick in the first round. So we've added 2 first rounders, but Chase Young is gone. I would have loved to have Justin Jefferson or CD Lamb.
Yep.
I'm going to say that right now. In 2021, we took Jamin Davis, and I put Harris on here. Oh, Najee Harris and Travis Etienne. We could have had 2 running backs that I think we could use.
I'm comfortable with those 2. Yep.
For sure. Instead, we went and got Brian Robinson in the next draft. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we traded back for with John Dotson, and we could have got Kyle Hamilton. Mm-hmm. And then later in the draft, we could have got Tyler Smith, a really good offensive tackle for the Cowboys, who's played some games and played us well. And then the last year, 2023, we got Emmanuel Forbes, and we could have got Christian Gonzalez. He was sitting right there for us to draft. And we go out on a limb and get Emmanuel Forbes. We could have had Christian Gonzalez. We could have had Jackson Smith and Jigba. Or we could have had Zay Flowers. All first-round picks. This is not even looking at the second round. You know, right. I think T. Higgins was in the 2020 draft as well. And we could have got him. So it's just a number of players that we missed out on. Again, it just so happens that set us up to get the number 2 pick when we could get Jaden Daniels. And I said this all along, too. I'm happy we got the number 2 pick and not the number 1 pick, because I think we would have took Caleb Williams as well if we had the number 1. So. Just because, what's our offensive coordinator's name?
Kingsbury.
Cliff had already worked with Caleb at USC. And Adam Peters was from the San Francisco 49ers, very close to USC. So both of them had connections with Caleb already. Caleb was seen as a unanimous number 1 pick when he was coming out. A couple people started saying Jaden was the best quarterback at the end. But I think Adam Peters would have drafted Caleb number 1.
I think he would have if Cliff Kingsbury was on board. But honestly, bro, I don't think he was, because I think with working with him, I think he saw the red flags. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, I mean, just look what he's doing. Look what he's doing now. Can you imagine if Jaden Daniels threw a hissy fit for missing a target practice competition at practice with cameras there?
They don't miss none of that.
Yeah, so it's like, I think he saw the divaness from you know up front before it manifested. But I mean, keep in mind, Jaden Daniels is from California too. So but like, I think I'm just glad that we finally got a quarterback that can take us to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are a legitimate Super Bowl contender with him, but like, you got to give it 3 years, man. Cause like, look at it already. We're in year 2 and there's some draft picks from the 2024 draft that may not work out. I mean, Luke McCaffrey, I hate to say it, he may be on the bubble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we basically drafted his replacement in Lane, possibly, So, right. Yeah. And who else do we have in 2024? I mean, Sam Still, you see how well he's performing. So exactly. It's so important to get these draft picks right, man, because it can set your organization back 4 years, man. Like, can you imagine what we would be if just these players worked out? Not, you know what I'm saying?
No, so, I was gonna say I like Adam Peters when he's drafting in the first from number 1 to number 50, and I think Mike Samerstill was number 50. Johnny Newton was like 33 or so. Yeah. After that is where he drafted Luke McCaffrey, Ben Sinnott, and I said last week. I think I said it last week. I need to see more from those guys this year. So I want to see how AP drafts in the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. One player I do like right now, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the running back, looked really good, and that was his 7th round pick. So that one was like, okay, AP, I like that. I like what you're doing with that one. But some of these other players that they really need to step up, because we're drafting positions of need. And you're drafting them in the 3rd round, but your 3rd rounders aren't hitting. And I kind of want to see the 3rd rounders. Like, 1st round is kind of like a no-brainer. The tackle we have, Josh Connerly, he looks like he's going to be able to play well. With the scheme that we have too, Cole, it's kind of easy on the lineman, because as a defensive end, you can't rush in too far, or Jaden's just going to run for 6-7 yards easy. He can slide. You know, everybody was like, get down in the last game. And then he stands up and gets a touchdown. So hopefully during the season he gets down. But it makes it a little bit easier on the linemen. So I think Josh Connolly is going to play well. I think the 7th rounder is going to play well. So this could be a good year for AP. But I am curious to see what he does with these 3rd and 4th rounders in the future, because there's a lot of players we could have used. So yeah, that's what I'm curious to see with AP going forward.
Yeah, like what he's doing now, he's trying to recalibrate the roster, but since he struck gold with 5, it's like, okay,
gold, man.
You know, we have to. It's kind of like we got to win now mode. So like they're bringing in veterans and stuff to establish the culture and all that good stuff. But like they're also taking flyers on players like Krosky Merritt. I mean, 7th rounders really don't pan out. You know, like the only person that running back that really made it in these past few years is Pacheco. You know, and like he another needle in the haystack. So he looks good. He looked good in that preseason game. Hopefully it holds water. But like, just
it is the Bengals. Let me say that it is the Bengals, one of the worst, if not the worst defense in the NFL. So
this is true. But I think with 5 being a run threat, I mean,
again, it makes it easier for everybody in the game.
And he has the vision too. Like I think that's one of the things that Brian Robinson Jr. unfortunately just didn't show. He didn't show the vision that you kind of need in that spread offense, because it's similar to the zone blocking of the Shanahan regime, where you have second level tiered blocking, where you have the offensive line, like the guard and the tackle, maybe, right? They double team someone. They bridge that gap, and then one person spawns off and gets the linebacker. And next thing you know, you have 2 tiers that the running back has to run through. Hence why you have to have that dead leg to cut through that one little lane and then get upfield. It's textbook running back.
Yeah, that's making me think of the Deebo Samuel play, the first play of the game. You see, the field just looks wide open too, man. Like you said, I love that analogy I love that you pointed out the levels. You can see the levels in this Cliff Kingsbury offense. And that's how the Cardinals look when they had James Conner and Kyler Murray. He's passing giving the ball to James Conner, whether it's out of the backfield or in the flats. And there's the level of the blocking. His plays are kind of misdirection. You see Deebo come out off the wide receiver reverse. He took it like for 12, 13 yards first down. And Deebo was able to make that cut, get upfield. I mean, it looks great. It really, really looks great. But everything comes down to Jaden Daniels. I was going to ask you, Co, is it worth it? Is it worth going through everything you have to go through to get an RG3, to get a Jaden Daniels?
I was
when you get, because the RG3 era, that year was amazing. Is it worth it? Is it this Jaden Daniels? We've only been in this 1 year, but it feels like 5. Like, is it? And it's 5. So,
bruh, look at this.
Is it worth it?
Hell yeah, it was worth it. Ron Rivera's record with the Commanders was 26-40-1. This dude went to the playoffs his first season at 7-9, so he won with the lose. That was when the NFC leased in 2020. We won the division with a 7-9 record. That's so embarrassing.
That's crazy. So we made the playoffs.
Yeah, bro. I don't think he's ever had a winning season with us here, but like it was all worth it.
I know one of them was really bad. I mean, the last one had to be really bad because we got the number 2 pick. So we were really bad.
I think we needed to be really 13, bad. Something like that.
Yeah, we were really bad when we needed to be really bad. We ended up getting the number 2 pick in Jaden Daniels. So yeah, I think it's worth it too, man. Like,
yeah, of course.
If it leads to this, like, man, this is the best thing you could ask for. And Jaden Daniels might literally be the best quarterback in the game, in my opinion.
In franchise history.
Like, in if franchise history, he's the best. All right.
On paper, yeah. I mean, like he's got to win it. He's got to win a chip.
He's still got to do some more.
He's got to win a chip. You know what I'm saying? He's got to win a chip. But like,
no. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this: like, he's like Dan Marino. If he does this for 10 years, he don't even have to win a chip. He will be the best quarterback we've ever had.
he's already the best quarterback we've ever had. Like
That's what I'm saying. Dog.
Already,
Hey.
like I love Doug Williams, but give me five.
Hold on. Let me ask you this.
I love Theismann, but give me five.
Let me ask you this, Go. I saw somebody on Threads ask a question, and it was a woman. So shout out to the
Brodies.
women. The women are getting into the game, like you said. We don't want no smoke with the Swifties. We don't want no smoke with the women. Shout out to the women in the DC area putting on for the sports game. But I saw a woman ask this question: is the glazing of Jaden Daniels going too far? She said that people are calling Jaden Daniels elite. Is Jaden Daniels elite? She said her criteria for elite, the person has to do it for a couple of years.
She don't know football.
I said to her, you can see elite. I said, I agree with if you say your criteria is a couple years, then according to your criteria, he's not elite. Only because he doesn't meet the couple of years, part of it. But I said, when you watch football, you can see that Jaden Daniels has elite traits. You can see.
I look at it like this:
every elite trait that you could ask for. Not just he has elite traits; he has all of the traits that you look for.
There's not enough glazing. What are you talking about? It's 5. Hey, look, I hear what she's saying. You definitely have to sustain your dominance in order to be considered one of the top dogs. But like, the question is he elite? Yes. Why? Because he literally has all of the traits of an elite player, and he's doing it his first year. Did we question if AI was elite his first year? No. Did we question if Randy Moss was elite his first year? No. So I don't want to hear that crap. It is what it is. 5 is 5.
You got to use the eye test. That's what I say. You got to use the
eye test. That's why Bron's have to go.
Hey. Hey, listen, we don't have to get into it, Coach, but I think that's a little bit of what it is. Like, I saw some people talking about the bag work, and they're like, oh, LeBron has a bag. Yeah, LeBron does have a bag. LeBron can score. And plus, first of all, what is a bag even anyway? Is the bag the crossover, or is the bag just the scoring?
Right, because if it's just the scoring, he's got the bag, yeah.
He's got a bag, because he can score, yeah, of course. But if it's the way it looks,
no.
That's why players like KD, as far as having a bag, will be ahead of LeBron, because KD's game just looks a little smoother. Anthony Edwards' game just looks a little smoother. Kyrie's game just looks a little smoother. It's the eye test.
Yep.
The eye test is important. So getting back to football, Jaden Daniels passes the eye test.
He passes the eye test. Yeah, exactly.
He passes the eye test, like in every single way. When you think of him, I think of Patrick Mahomes. I think of Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was at his peak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think of Joe Burrow. Like, I think of great quarterbacks. I think of Lamar Jackson, but again, Lamar Jackson is a little bit. I can see the difference in the running with Lamar.
He's a more elusive runner. Yeah,
he's definitely.
So, like, where Jaden's most potent weapon is passing. People forget he's a passer. Like, he can run, but he's a passer first. Like, that preseason rushing touchdown, he dropped back, but the coverage broke down, so he got out of Dodge. So, yeah, man. But let us know what you think there, Brodies. It's good to be out of the Rivera era, if you will, because DQ and AP are doing their thing. We still haven't got Terry locked up yet, but he's under contract. So moving on here, we need
that perfect timing with that contract. AP, put that AP on so we can get some perfect timing.
Right, exactly. So let's move on with the power rankings here. We're going to do an extended version of this list here so we can have the top 10 ready for next week. And then we go right into season 1 with our previews there. So to kick things off, Wiggs, who you got at 22?
Let me get my list out. Oh, man, cool. I think, like you said, this is a great idea. We're going to take from 22 to 11, and then we'll have the top 10 for the folks. This is interesting because we go from teams that are in that mid-range, 22 is mid-range, to the 16 to 11. These are teams that are in the playoffs. But not making the playoffs this year. They are a sleeper team. I know we had them as a sleeper team last week, but this is where I think they are, and you had them as a sleeper. I had them at 22, and that's the Jets.
Okay.
I think the Jets are going to be, again, competitive. Justin Fields is going to get another year to see if he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think he can be.
Okay.
But he can be a winning quarterback. Just because you're a starting quarterback doesn't mean you're a winning quarterback.
That's a good point.
Everybody doesn't know how to win. So let's see what Justin Fields does. I think he doesn't make the playoffs this year, but I think the Jets can get a little bit better if they draft really well next year, if they get a couple more free agents. Let's see what they can do in year 2. But for the first year, I think the Jets don't make it. What do you think?
I think that's a good. Thought right there. Like they're right there, so they're going to be like a 9-8 team. 8-9 team.
You win one more game, you make the playoffs. You lose one more game, you don't.
Exactly. Right. And like with your prediction with the Dolphins being an every other year team, they may take that second playoff spot from that division. So I agree with that. And speaking of which, that's a good transition. At 21, I got the Miami Dolphins. So
don't do it, don't do my Dolphins.
It's make or break season for McDaniels. He's on the hot seat. Your boy Tyreek Hill is getting a year older. Tua Tagovailoa has to show that he can stay healthy. And then it's inevitable. It's going to get cold eventually. Can they survive the winter? So it's going to be back and forth between them and the Jets to see what they can do. Because ironically, the Jets don't do good when it's hot outside. So anyway, who you got at 20?
Yeah, I don't have too many objections with that code. Man, I'm just not even excited for my Dolphins. That's the crazy thing. I'm a Dolphins fan, and I'm rooting more for the Commanders. So anyway, at number 20, let's just keep it moving. I got the Arizona Cardinals, the little engine that could.
All right,
he's going to be able to get to the playoffs.
Mr. Scoot out here.
Yeah, at some point he's going to have to do some film work. You got to do something to go to the next level. I don't think he's there yet. You sent the picture, code of Patrick Mahomes, full regalia, full uniform, ready to battle with his men.
Didn't even play.
Kyler Murray's in his sweats. And you said it's just the look of it. It's the little things, the intangible.
That's a good point, man.
Kyler Murray. That's a real good point. The little things, Kyler Murray. You're already a little man. You can do the little things right. Maybe that will make the difference. So,
not the little man needs to do the little things to make the big difference. The little things make the biggest impacts, Kyler.
I'm telling you, man. The little engine that could. That's the little engine that could. So that's what we want to
do. It. We believe in you.
And in this range, you can make the playoffs. You're right there. One more win. Let's see you do the little things.
I agree. So coming in at 19, we got the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting. They can either win the division or they can lose the division, right?
The 12 is about to get you, Cole. The 12.
Hey, they upgraded from Geno Smith, but like it wasn't an upgrade. It was like you having a 2010 Nissan Maxima and getting a 2012. Like
from a Nissan to a VW. Like the VW is better, but it's still not.
It still got 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So I don't trust Sam Darnold when it matters. I think the first half of the season he's going to do pretty well, and then that's when they're going to like force him to win from the pocket like everyone else did when it matters, and he's not going to deliver. So someone who had. Yeah.
I'm thinking about that analogy. Geno Smith is a Nissan. Sam Darnold is a VW. Like I just thought about that's really such a good comparison. But like that's what they are.
You went from I don't even know the name of the VW, the Jetta. Yeah. You went from a Nissan Altima to a Jetta.
Yeah. You upgraded a little bit. You definitely upgraded a bit. But you're a VW, like you're safe. I get you because you're safe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a 9-to-5 car. But anyway, at 18, who you got coming in, Wiggs?
All right, I said the 12 was gonna be mad at you, Cub. Oh man, this might be the worst fan base to beef with, and for whatever reason, I
Ain't
chose
nobody care
to
about
do
them
this to
Bamas.
myself. The Dallas Cowboys, y'all not making the playoffs. I'm gonna let you know right now, y'all not making the playoffs. If y'all make the playoffs, I'll get on here and do something crazy. But I ain't doing nothing strange for
Hey, yo. Shout out to my man Tristan Spencer, my main man Juice
Yeah,
Gallup out there. They're Cowboy fans.
I know
They're not going to like this pick, but it
we
is
got a
what it
lot
is,
of
fellas.
Cowboy fans out here. But yeah, no, y'all not making the playoffs. Y'all coming in at 18.
Yeah, I'd say 9-8. I give y'all 9-8. You know what I'm saying? But I think honestly, what it's going to fall down to with Dallas, real talk, it's Dak Prescott. You know, point blank, period. Like, can he get it done when it matters? He hasn't shown that he could. You know, like that. So I mean, Jaden Daniels already has more playoff wins than him. So you got to get it done when it matters. Now, speaking of getting it done when it matters, we have a coach that needs to get it done when it matters, and that's down 85 South in Atlanta. Okay, Raheem Morris, I'm calling you out, man. Okay, I got the Atlanta Falcons at number 17. I got them making the playoffs. Okay,
missing the playoffs, missing
missing the playoffs. Yeah, missing the playoffs.
The last team to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think what's going to happen if they don't win the division is because they're going to lose a game when it matters. Like it's either going to be like they're going to lose against Tampa Bay, like winner gets into the division, or they're going to win. Lose a game before the end of the season, and it's like, you know, if they win, they're in. If they don't, they're out. Some type of scenario like that. So I got them just missing the playoffs. What do you think, Wicks?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, because if they don't win that division, the problem is you have the NFC South and you have the NFC East. The NFC East could send 3 teams. The NFC South could send 3 teams.
Easy.
So if you don't win the division,
North.
Yeah, NFC North. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
So if you don't win the division in the NFC, you have a very slim chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The other divisions are just taking over.
That's a good point.
So yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Falcons. I like Michael Penix. I like Bijan Robinson. He's supposed to be a top 5 fantasy player, but I don't know. Y'all just missed out on the playoffs, and I think that's what they did last year. They just missed out. Same thing.
And I think that to your point in last week's episode, Wiggs, where you said that they're going to be competitive, but they're just going to fall short a couple of games. And you also said that because they don't have any tape on Penix, the first half of the season, he could go off, but they're going to figure him out, and he's going to hit that slump later in the season. At the worst time, exactly. And it's going to be another scenario where it's a win and end, or win and get some help, and all them other crazy algorithms to get in the playoffs, and they fall short, and then they find themselves the right guy.
And I think you're right, Cole. It comes down to coaching. I think Raheem Morris, I'm sorry to say, and again, I don't want to say it about our own coach, but again, we can't forget Dan Quinn was up 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
Hey, that was Atlanta Falcons stuff.
He lost again, and we're talking about the Falcons. That's why it made me think about it. We're talking about the Falcons. Dan Quinn was up 28-3 when he was the coach of the Falcons, and his quarterback was Matt Ryan. That's a big difference than Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
But we did see Dan Quinn go up against the Eagles in that NFC championship game, and we got our ass kicked. Let's just be honest. We got our ass kicked in the playoffs. We've been losing in these preseason games. Again, it's just preseason, and we haven't had our starters out there. But hey, Dan Quinn, let's get it going. We don't have Terry McLaurin.
I don't want to see us talking about the Falcons, boy. We ain't talking about this game.
I don't want to see us get off to a slow start. But yeah, back to the Falcons. Yeah, they're just missing the playoffs. So let's get to 16, Cole.
All right,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
We got the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in here. So I think I think they make the playoffs barely because they got Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a shade better than Russell Wilson. But I think that's it. You know, first round exit, but they make the playoffs. What do you think?
I completely agree. I think Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are the exact same player. Their stats last year are very comparable. I think their stats this year will be very comparable. Aaron Rodgers gets them to the playoffs and they don't do anything. They lose to one of the better teams in the AFC, and there are a lot of really good teams in the AFC.
The AFC is stacked.
And that's the biggest problem with the Steelers is you're going against giants.
Now, I would have had them higher, Wiggs, if they kept George Pickens. I don't know why they got rid of him.
Micah Fitzpatrick, they lose two really good players on both sides of the ball.
And I'm like, if y'all are trying to win, why would you give away your best players? I don't get that. So that's why I got them right here at number 16 and a half of the pack. Now, this next team lost its quarterback, but their defense is that potent that I think they may not miss that much of a beat. Who you got coming in at 15, Wiggs?
The Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy, the Michigan man, I think he's going to get it done. I think he's good enough. And it's not him, it's the things around him. Yeah. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. You said Jordan Addison is going to be out for 3 games. Cool. Take some more performance and drugs while you're out. Take some more PEDs and then come back.
Right.
And let's go crazy on these folks.
They still have Aaron Jones and Hockenson. And O'Connell's a quarterback whisperer.
Exactly, yeah. And exactly. So he's going to set the plays up. And JJ McCarthy knows how to run those plays. I got them coming in at 15.
Okay.
They make the playoffs. It's not a team you would expect, but like you said, it's just like the year that before they got Kirk Cousins. They won 14 games before they got Kirk Cousins. They ended up winning less with Kirk Cousins.
You can't stand that, dude. I can't even name
the quarterback that they had. So they're going to kind of do the same thing. They lose Sam Darnold, but you keep a great coach. Yeah. And you put in a quarterback that can do what you need him to do.
Yeah.
So he doesn't make any bad. He's not going to make enough bad plays to make them miss the playoff. I got the Vikings there.
And then to your point, JJ McCarthy, they have no tape on him. So we don't know what he is right now. So you just got to speculate. Now, I have a speculation. The San Francisco 49ers are going to have a resurgence. So they're coming in at number 14. Now, I don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, but a healthy defense, Salah's back, so their defense is going to get back to normal to the Super Bowl era defense. So that you got to factor that in. Purdy got his money, so he's not playing under pressure anymore. I mean, McCaffrey should be healthy enough, hopefully, to sustain until Ayuk gets back. They got the number 1 tight end in the game, and Kittle,
yeah.
Look for them to go 10-7, 11-5. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I think we're at the range now where some of these teams are, again, they could be number 14, they could be number 24. And that's what happened to the 49ers last year. This was a team everybody expected to be in the playoffs. Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be back week 6. He's not back by week 6. He's going to be back by week 10. He's back by week 10, and then he's hurt by week 12. So, that's how injury can really affect these teams. And
this may be a healthy year for him, though.
Exactly. So hopefully this is a healthy year for McCaffrey. If it is, I think this team is going to be good. I think that even Brock Purdy could go down. If Christian McCaffrey is good, that's how good running backs are in this league. So we've seen the way Mike Shanahan, too, is really good with next man up.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey went down. The other running backs filled in. Even though the 49ers didn't win, they just didn't have the roster that they needed. Losing Deebo Samuel, people getting hurt. You just can't prepare for some of that stuff. So, I like the 49ers.
Okay.
And then coming in at 13, this was an interesting pick right here. The Houston Texans. I was saying to you, I would have had them a little bit higher. But, again, it's the playoff. They make the playoffs.
Yep.
So they got a good quarterback. And you made a good point, Co. And I'll let you make the point. You said they lost a couple players?
Yeah, they lost Tank Dell. I don't think he's playing this year with that horrible leg injury, man. Oh, my gosh. And they lost Laramie Tunsil, who's arguably the second best tackle in the league. And then let's see who else. I mean, they got Chubb. They just picked up Chubb. So they might pick up the run
We
game. But
we definitely said we like that pickup.
Yeah, I do like that. But like from a passing standpoint, it's just Collins out there, and then it's the next man up for the second slot receiver. So, I mean, 13 ranked 13th. I mean, the AFC South is a weak division, so they should still be able to win that division with a 9-8 or 10-7 record.
Yeah, exactly. And again, they make the playoffs, so I think that's where they are in the league. You know, they're a team that's going to make the playoffs every year. They got a good quarterback, they have a good coach, and they have a good defense. So you're always going to be in the playoffs when you have those three things. But are they going to win anything more than that? Again, the top of the AFC is just too good. We'll get to that next week. But
maybe next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
maybe next year.
He's got to get through Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. I mean,
you're the fifth best in that conference.
Yeah. It's between him and Sherbert.
Yeah.
Now, going over here to the Rocky Mountains, to the Mile High, okay? We got the Denver Broncos coming in. I think Bo Nix is, I mean, he's really good, yo. Like, I liked him. When I saw him in Oregon, I was like, you know what, this kid actually can spin it. So I'm glad that he's with what's his name? Sean Payton. You know, like Bo Nix kind of reminds me of a reincarnated Bo Nix. Like he plays just like Drew Brees. Excuse me. He plays just like him. So I like them at 12. Now they got a tough mountain to climb as well out there in the AFC. They're in the Chiefs division, but I think they should be able to maybe sweep the Raiders, maybe, and then maybe split, or everyone else. They're probably going to get swept maybe by the Chiefs, because it's kind of hard to beat them, with the refs. So, so I would say maybe like a 3-3, like a 3-3 record in the division, maybe 4-2, something like that. So, definitely look for them to be a 5th or 6th seed in the playoffs. What do you think, Wiggs?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is the range. Again, they have good quarterback play and they have good pieces around them. I like that they got Cortland Sutton at a good number.
Yep.
They say, yo, I'm ready to play. I like the quarterback. I want to play with this quarterback. Let's do it. Terry McLaurin, I'm talking to you.
Right. That was a sneak diss, subliminal. Sign the contract. Actually, sorry, you did already.
To be direct. Sign the damn contract, man. What are we waiting on?
Foolishness.
Adam Peters, make it happen.
Right, man.
Telling us that the trade is about to happen and the trade ain't happening.
You're messing up the show, AP.
Come on.
We over here trying to focus.
Anyway, the Broncos, man. I like the Broncos. That again, they're in the playoffs. They're not one of the main top teams, but they're there. I
liked it. Now, coming in at 11, I know I normally joke about the Sherbert, but I think the defense and coaching, it has regulated the Sherbert. Like he's not going to be throwing 30, 35 times a game. He's going to be on a pitch count, maybe 20, 25 max. They're going to run the ball. They'll do some dink and dunks and, here and there, whatever. And then their defense is just going to, leverage the rest. So I think that, they may have a chance to take the division if the Chiefs have a breakdown, what I'm saying? Like injuries maybe, or just a bad year of production. They may not go 14-3. They might go 11-5 or something like that. They may be able to steal the division. You never know. It's theirs for the taking. I mean, it's the only team that can kind of give the Chiefs some go in that division. So, look for them to be like a 5th or 6th seed, something like that, battling it out with the Broncos. What do you think, Wiggs?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I think as I've been thinking about Sherbert this summer, he's definitely in that range. Like he's the next best quarterback. He's in the tier 2 of quarterbacks. Jaden, Lamar, Josh, Joe, Patrick. That's tier 1.
Yes, sir.
Hurts. I'm going to put Hurts in tier 1 because that's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
No argument here.
So Herbert is right below that. Herbert, Dak. Again, Dak might get me there.
Oh.
He might get me there.
Hey, yo.
Hey. Herbert might get you to the playoffs, okay?
Okay.
But what's Herbert gonna do when he gets there? He threw three or four interceptions. Yeah, and then in the playoffs, he's winning through 3 picks. What are we gonna do with that? But we need to see some
one playoff series. One time they were up like 30 and it still lost.
Yeah, that was his first year. So we got to see some more from Herbert. But number 11, that's his range. You're the next best.
Definitely this. I mean, to your point, he's a second tier quarterback, so only natural that he wouldn't make the top 10. But next week, Brodies, we got the top 10. Okay, we got the top 10 teams in the league going into 2025. And if you've been following us, there's a particular squad that we haven't mentioned yet, baby.
Top 10, dog.
Super Bowl. But you got to stay tuned. You got to stay tuned, okay? You got to click on the bottom right-hand corner on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Like and subscribe. We are over 720,000 views and counting. But we can only get to 1 million if you like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. So until next week, y'all, it's the Lord Head Co-World, my main man, Jay Wiggs. It's Brody Sports Talk, y'all. We'll see you next week. Peace.